now I'm going to talk a little bit about sexual harassment at conventions. And I'm talking in general. There was some stuff that happened at Origins. I'm not talking specifically about that. I'm talking in general about conventions because, like, if you don't want this community to be open and welcoming and safe for everyone, like, you're an asshole. End of story, right? So, I'm going to talk a couple things that you can do. Obviously, I can't talk from the direct perspective of being a woman at a game convention or a person that's ever been sexually harassed at a game convention, but I can talk from the perspective of, like, being an ally and some simple things you can do to just be a better ally, just to make sure everybody is welcome and safe and gets to enjoy things the way that I get to enjoy things, because that's great. So Suzanne from Dice Tower wrote a really, really good Twitter thread on this before the convention about simple things you can do. A lot of it's, if you see somebody that might feel uncomfortable, and a lot of hers was specifically to, like, working at a booth or working at a convention. First off, if you're working at a booth or have employees at a booth or are doing anything like that, make sure you have some sort of signal in case somebody feels uncomfortable, because board games are a weird thing where you have, like, this weird social contract where you're supposed to be, like, stuck with people, and if somebody's making you feel uncomfortable, it's hard to remove yourself from that. It's harder than a lot of situations. So that can be a code word, that can be a code sign, whatever. If you're at a booth, not working there, whatever, and it seems like somebody's making somebody else uncomfortable, talk to that person. Don't address the situation, but just offer them a way out. Just be like, hey, I was wondering if you could help me with this thing. And maybe they are uncomfortable and they're like, yeah, I'm going to go help this person with this thing. Or maybe they're not uncomfortable and they'll be like, yep, I'll get to you in a second. And then you're like, great. That's just a good, simple thing that you can do that isn't uncomfortable for anybody. It can help a person. If they don't need help, that's fine. An important thing for being an ally as well is make sure that you're open to listening. Make sure that people know that you want to hear them if they need to talk to you, things like that. But also let the person handle it how they want. You know, you can offer different options. You can say, like, do you want to take it to con staff? Do you want to do this? Whatever. But don't force them into doing anything they're uncomfortable with, and don't become the center of that story, right? Like, it's not your job to then take on, you know, their anger and choose to use it the way you think it should be used, because that's just further victimizing them, right? If they don't want everybody to know about it for whatever reason, that's their right, right? You know, you don't get to say, like, everybody should know about this. So it's a hard thing for me because I'm very angry when I hear about things like that, and I am in a position where I'm not going to be further victimized if I, like, call somebody out for sexual harassment or anything like that. But the person that was victimized probably isn't in that same position because they don't have the same privilege as me. So that's important. Be an ally, be a listener, help them do what they want to do, but don't take it upon yourself to do it for them if they don't want that. Okay, that kind of simple stuff. Also work with like, if you have suggestions for conventions, how to make it better, because I truly believe that all conventions want everybody to be safe and comfortable and happy, because at the end of the day, that makes them money, right? Like, I'm not saying that that's their only motivation, but, like, obviously it is in their best interest to appeal to the largest group of people possible. So I know they're trying, and they're trying really hard, and it's a thing that's often, there's so many volunteers and staff turnover, it's really hard to build that stuff up. I'm not saying that they can't do better, because they can. And it is absolutely their responsibility to make sure that everybody feels safe, and absolutely their responsibility when they're creating this environment to police it. So work with them. If you've got suggestions, I'm sure they're open to it. Yeah.